Hey, welcome back. Oh my gosh, I am so excited about today's episode. My name is Karmisha Superville, co-host to the amazing Chop It Up with R&K. We're super stoked to be celebrating our final episode, you guys. Yes! Our final episode, 2020 year-end review at the Edge. Come on now, listen. I couldn't do this without my co-host, the hostess of the mostest, the sexy lady in red. Y'all already know. Give it up for my girl, Miss Roxanne.
Hey guys, this is your girl, Roxanne Small from the infamous R&K. Hey. Couldn't do it without my girl, Karmisha. She brings the energy, she brings the flavor.
Hey.
Right, tune in, guys. We have an awesome show set up for you. We're doing a year in review, 2020. You know, let's talk about it.
Let's chop it up. Welcome to Chop It Up with R&K. This is our final episode. Yay! We are so excited about this episode. Today's theme, episode 4, is 2020 year in review at the Edge.
Yes, at the
Edge. You see, guys, we only bring you the best. Welcome. This episode is about highlighting our losses and our wins. And does resolutions even matter? Does it even matter?
I have no idea. I don't make resolutions. I just wing it because I'm not that kind of a person.
Yes.
But I know tons of people, at least 80% of the people, go ahead and make resolutions. And what I found was that at least 8% of the 80 that actually set New Year's resolution actually keep it.
That's true.
Within 6 weeks of setting a resolution.
Keep it? They actually
8%.
8%. Okay, 8%. Okay.
Of the 80 that set resolutions actually fulfill it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's like some really, really low odds.
Yeah.
So the only thing I say for myself in terms of resolution is just trying to be a better me. I know last year I did set a goal, Karmisha, to read 30 books.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
How's that going?
Ask me how many of the 30 books I read.
28.
Negative. Girl, I think I read 3 books.
Oh my God.
So that was not good. I'm even embarrassed to even talk about it right now.
Oh my gosh.
But we want to try to live healthier lives. We want to save money, all these different things people set their minds to achieving in the new year, and it goes out the window. What about you? What kind of resolutions did you make last year?
You know what, just like you said, just to be a better person. But then COVID happened.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
So.
Yes, wait, can I stop you?
Come on now.
We all came into the new year last year like this is 2020 vision.
Vision,
right?
yes,
and we were going to map this thing out and we were going to get it accomplished because this was the year of vision.
Yes.
Right? And look at the vision.
Look at the vision.
Okay.
Yes. 2020 year in review at the Edge. What is there to talk about for 2020? How was your 2020? How was your 2020?
So I'll be very honest with you. Coming into the new year, we celebrated at the house, which we usually bring in the new year, and it was pretty good. I want to say around March 4th, I think the city started getting shut down.
Yes.
I can remember driving home from the office and being the only car on the street.
Wow.
Okay. Then I realized I had to print a letter out from my office in the event that I got pulled over, like, why are you driving? Why are you outside? And I am an essential worker. Even though I'm in the financial services industry and I'm not a hospital worker or a healthcare worker, as most people think, we are basically an essential worker.
Absolutely.
So I had my little paper that I was driving around town with in the event that I got pulled over. And I was like, this is so insane. Okay. Started making the adjustments. Things started to kind of open back up around my birthday. So we went to Tulum, Mexico for 5 days, 4 nights.
Hey.
I mean, it was phenomenal.
Yay, Tulum.
Mexico greeted us with open arms. We had the entire resort really to ourselves. It was about 50, 60 of us.
Wow.
So we really, we turned up.
Yeah, we turned
Needless
up.
to say,
Yeah.
50 to 60 of us at a resort with just about 10 or 20 other people. We turned up. They
Awesome.
knew we were there. Okay.
So you had a good 2020.
Listen, we made our presence known. Okay. So, needless to say, it started off bad, and then we had somewhat of a glimmer of hope come the summertime, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
What about you? I mean, what did you do?
2020. Oh my gosh. Can we talk about Kobe Bryant? Can we talk about George Floyd?
Yes,
I mean, if we really go into chop it up, we got to talk about what really highlighted and shaped 2020. Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. I mean, the list goes on and on. So my 2020 was really a year of revealing. And I think for many of us collectively, even for our viewers, we can all attest that we were going through this together. Yeah.
Because we were all home.
Yes.
We were able to relate. You can call somebody up and they were actually taking your call because they were home.
Facts.
They had nowhere to go.
Absolutely.
But I think collectively, like you mentioned, I watched that video as it went down with George Floyd. And I'm telling you, my heart sank. Because it brought me back to when I was a kid, when I saw Roots.
Oh,
Did you ever see Roots? I
have.
I know we're part of two different generations.
Yes.
It was just like, oh my God, are we going back down that road?
Yes.
Right? For me, it was as though time had stood still.
Yes, it really did. It really did.
It's like we came so far to only come back this way. I was speechless. I was speechless. I couldn't fathom where we were going to go from here.
Absolutely.
You understand? And then you mentioned,
Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. Yes, absolutely.
And then all these things.
All these things start compounded.
You understand?
Just compounded.
So it was just like, we really need to take a step back and reflect. Where are we going? What are we looking to do? You understand? As a society, as a culture, as a whole.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, even though we had some of those, dark or dawning moments, I think there was some glimmer of hope. Some light. So what was that for you? What was that like? What was that glimmer for you?
The glimmer for me was, and I think we all can attest to it, it was listening to the voices. We many times complain about societal issues on a systematic level or on a micro level. But I think collectively on a macro level, on a larger scale, we were all able to see that it wasn't just a sector complaining. This was going on, this has been going on, and how do we address it? And I think that was a glimmer of hope for me as we are talking about 2020 year-end review. And I'm so happy you asked that, because I didn't think about what was it for me, what was the highlight?
What was the highlight?
As we bring it home, what was the highlight?
Listen, you could not stay in a slumber for those many months. A lot of us would possibly be needing Prozac or, some of these other depressant or something like that, because it was enough to get you depressed.
Absolutely.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, right now with the winter coming in, I'm a little concerned, because they're talking about this second wave and lockdown, and we're all experiencing it right now. Even as we stand here at the Edge, things are not as what they used to be.
Absolutely.
This is not the norm. And I don't know.
We gotta have our mask.
Can you adjust to this new norm? What is that gonna be like? What does that look like for you?
What does the new normal look like? Wow, that's such a compounded question. For me, Roxanne, I take it one day at a time. For me, I'm hopeful. For me, I wake up with a mindset that, what comes what may, I am going to overcome. So I think, for me, it's just really taking it one day at a time, because we don't know. I mean, just coming here, for example,
it was such a process.
Yes, a process.
Right?
Yes.
We have to leave, half an hour, 45 minutes in to go through,
checkpoints
to check the thermometers, make sure you have the masks on. I walked out the car, got all the way here.
Oh my gosh.
And realized I didn't have the mask.
Had
to walk all the way back to the car to come back.
That's a real thing.
This is real.
That's a real thing.
This is so real. Like, where are we going? You know, I'm just like floored at this time because I'm so trying to figure it out. Like I'm a Leo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm rebellious by nature.
Oh, man.
So I know I try to say the serenity prayer to put me in line because that's the only how I can kind of, you know, keep it all together.
Yeah.
Okay. And go along with the process.
Absolutely.
Because by nature, I'm free spirited. I love to be
out.
I love to be
Yes.
out. I love to, you understand, meet people. I love to talk. I love to, you know, go out. And this is really something for me to get used to.
Yes.
Okay. So with all of this going on, you know, I'm trying to find balance.
I am so happy you said that.
Okay.
How do you find balance?
Okay.
Yes.
And I know for me, sometimes I say, is there really such a thing as having balance? Because I think sometimes one thing is going to overshadow something else, and it may take precedence.
Yes.
Okay, depending on where you're at in your life at this particular time.
Absolutely.
You know, when I think about balance, Karmisha, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm a mother, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a wife.
Yes.
And I have all these different
layers
roles
and different
responsibilities. Sometimes, like I said, based on what I have going on, something has to take a
precedent.
backseat.
Yes, a backseat.
You understand? Some things have to take a backseat. So when I hear people talking about balance, I'm like, is that just a hype, or do they genuinely, authentically have balance in their lives? What do you think? What are your views?
My views in terms of, like what you said, it's about prioritizing. I think we learned that, you know, in school and as you go through life, it's about really prioritizing what's important, what's imperative at the time. And like you said, you have different layers to you. And what is important? Listen, okay, make sure it's stay in. Listen, we don't want to chop it up for the wrong reasons. But no, I think balance really comes down to how we cope and how we deal with different aspects to our lives, because we all live in busy lives.
Yes.
Even during quarantine, I know folks were talking about working harder at home remotely than had they been at the office.
Of course.
So it's about taking precedent. And I think as we walk into 2021, now we have a year that we can look back where we had to have balance, where we had to put things in perspective. Which things that were major took precedent over the things that were minor. So I think really and truly your question about work-life balance and can we have balance, I think 2020 has shown us that yes, we have to.
We need. I think 2020 showed us that we needed to slow down.
Yes.
You know, when I reflect back, because now you have people who have young children, they had to be home with their children.
Yes.
Okay, so they got to learn their child. Right, because I heard a lot of teachers saying, "Oh, you guys would come up and rant and rave that's not my Joey, that's not my Sonia." And really and truly, when you were home, you really got to find out who Johnny and Sonia really were.
Absolutely.
You understand? So it took that time, you know, from a person's busyness to get in touch with their children, to get in touch with their spouses, and even though there was some negative, right, in terms of we heard the divorce rates went up and domestic violence and things like that, that was, you know, I guess inevitable.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, because it seems to me,
like, you know?
it was inevitable. And sometimes I'm wondering, did those couples really know each other? You understand? Right? Because again, we live in a reality-driven world. Yeah. You understand? So we don't live in a facade.
Yes.
You know, is that really true? Is that really your authentic self?
Yes.
You understand? And I think you got to understand or know who your husband was, who your children were. It put us on pause because we're on automatic pilot. We're going. We have to be at work at this time. We have to do this, ... No time for self-respect, for self-reflection. Okay? No time for me. No woosah time. We talk about it, but do we genuinely put those things into practice? Right. You understand? Right. So I think this gave us a moment to pause. Yes. Right? Yes. To step back.
See what is important in our lives, what matters. Yes. You know, you spoke about marriage for a second, and I wanted to ask about that because we do, the statistics have shown, and you guys can correct us if I'm wrong or correct me, but statistics has shown that due to the quarantine, due to COVID and the isolation, divorce has increased. Right. So why do you think that is? Right. You know,
well, like I said,
outside of not knowing,
I don't think people really knew who their spouses were. You know, on a core level.
Everyone is like, going,
Yeah.
hustling and bustling,
Right.
different schedule, everyone, for the most part.
So when you talk about getting to that person's core, you really got to understanding who that person was. Because now, so for example,
Give me an example. That's what we want.
Listen, a wife can tell the husband, listen, I didn't have time to cook because I was out doing X, Y, and Z.
Facts.
You understand? Right?
Yes.
So now the wife and the husband is home. The husband is like, okay, but you're home. So what's the excuse now?
And now
why don't I have a home cooked meal?
Right,
you
right,
understand? So now you got to figure some things out.
Right.
You understand?
And that could cause an argument.
Yeah,
so you was expecting me to
You
cook?
understand?
I mean, what happened to your hands? I'm just saying.
Right? So it was a lot of that. Doing laundry, doing things, household chores. Like there's no reason the laundry shouldn't be folded.
So let me ask you a question. Do you believe that quarantine, and this is an interesting thought, do you believe that quarantine raised our expectation of our partners, our significant others, even our kids? Raise our expectation? Because I know I had some. And I ain't even married, y'all, but I had some expectations. Like, if you don't call me, I'm done with you. Like, is that real? So,
you know what? I don't know that it raised the expectation, but I think it's shown the light for what really goes on. You understand? Because if I'm out shopping and I just make it in before my husband comes in and he's like, so what happened to the food? And then you can make up a lie. Like, listen, I was here doing this, I was doing that, and and all this stuff happened. But really, you guys are both home now, so you know what was going on. You see it for yourself, what was really going on.
Right.
You understand? So, I don't know, girl.
Man.
COVID just had some kind of, you understand? It was just like a tumultuous kind of thing going on, right? Like a tornado.
Yes.
Right? Everything was affected.
Tornado,
you understand? Everything was affected.
Yes.
You understand? Work-life balance, You know, the children at home in school. And I felt my heart went out to some of these parents.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
My heart really, really went out to these parents because I'm saying to myself, how do you juggle doing your corporate work from home, but then the kids has to be online and being homeschooled?
Yes.
Right? It was crazy. Like, how do you manage that? Where does the balance come in when you have to, decipher, do I work and get paid to put food on the table, or do I make sure that my child is getting educated?
And so, I like my little statistics. So I was reading a statistic that this quarantine and isolation has affected mothers, especially single mothers, more than any other sector. Absolutely. And then we dissect that, and especially women of color, single mothers. It really shaped the workforce. Many single mothers had to leave the workforce because of COVID and because of the climate that we're in. So guys, listen, there are so many things that we can talk about in terms of COVID, the losses, the wins, but this episode 4, is really to talk about the year end 2020 and how do we move forward. Are there resolutions? Do they even matter anymore? So we want to hear from you.
You brought that in. We want to go on.
Yeah.
But I just want to stop and say, do you realize how much of COVID affected us? Because that's all we seem to have been talking about recently.
Facts.
You understand?
Yeah.
9-10 months, right? But going forward, listen, we got to look forward to a brand new year, new resolutions, new friendships, new growth. You understand? New beginnings, because 2020 has had and should have taught many of us a lesson. Okay, again, I mean, I didn't have any personal deaths in the family, right? Thank God, I knock on wood for that. Things actually, was good for me. And I don't want to, toot my own horn or brag or anything like that. But in my industry, people were knocking down my door. Okay, again, I was an essential worker, still am.
Yes.
You understand? Because people need to understand saving and investing money, right? One of the products that we offer is life insurance. Do you know how many people were dying and didn't have life insurance policies?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, I had clients calling me, listen, I have a policy, but my neighbor doesn't have one, or my sister, or my uncle. I was getting those calls.
Wow.
So for me, business was tremendous. You understand? So I'm still reaping the benefits of that. You understand? I am busy. You understand? But I empathize with, those people who, got furloughed, who lost their jobs and things like that. But on the bright side, we're gonna look forward to 2021.
Yes.
Right? In a couple of days, a couple of hours.
In a couple of hours. I call 2020 the year of revolution, right? So it was very revealing for all of us. And 2021 is going to be the year of recovery.
Yes.
The year of recovery.
I love that. I love that. R&R.
R&R, that's right. And we talk about rest and relaxation.
No, we're not talking about that. Okay, even though, because I think we all got too much of that.
Facts.
Okay,
Yeah,
they
exactly.
talk about COVID bodies.
Right.
I'm trying to
lose that 15 pounds, you know what I'm saying?
The COVID body, right? We all had COVID bodies, right?
Exactly. But you know
So-
what? On a serious note, we do empathize with anyone that have
Yes.
lost family and friends. We know that this year has been tough, and I think the reason why we developed this podcast as we hone into that is because we wanted to provide an outlet of
Yes.
positivity, inspiration, have these unfiltered conversation, raw, and just talking about issues that affect you and I.
Right.
And I think we are so excited to chop it up more with you in 2021. I know, Roxanne, I want to thank you publicly as well
Yes.
for this endeavor. This has
For the vision.
Yes, for the, exactly. The Lord said, write the vision and
Yes,
make it plain.
Yes,
And this is such an amazing drive and amazing ride because for me, like you said, when I look back at 2020, this is one of my highlights.
Right.
Because I'm a creative and I like to put things in an atmosphere that's positive.
Right.
You know what? We dwell so much on the bad, on the negative. I like to do stuff that keeps me motivated,
Yes.
keeps me challenged.
Right.
And I know our subscribers are the same way.
Yes.
So we want you guys to stay tuned. Definitely continue. Follow us. Tell your friends. Tell your family. This is a #1 podcast, and we want this podcast to speak to you.
Yes.
Absolutely. So Roxanne, yes,
We're going to do a fitness challenge for 2 weeks.
That's right.
2 weeks. It's going to be health and wealth.
Yes.
Okay, so we're bringing it to you live. Hopefully we'll have our little workout gear.
Yes.
We're gonna have some workout gear on, so you guys gonna see what we're really made of.
Absolutely.
What we're really working with.
You know, your girl working with a lot, but you know, won't he do it?
Right. So, our next episode, episode 5, we're going to start our health and wellness series. It's going to be 2 weeks. We have our awesome sponsor. I believe Blink is going to be sponsoring that, so we're looking forward to that. So we hope you guys come on the journey with us to our next episode. Don't forget to like us, share us, subscribe, and leave those comments. We love to read them. We like them coming in, and who knows, there might be something in there for you. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Give the viewers something.
Love it.
Something.
So this is it, you guys. This is it, Roxanne. We have made it to the final episode of 2020.
What time is it?
Listen, we gotta do the countdown, baby.
The countdown.
We want to thank you for viewing us 2020 year end vision. Okay, hosted at the Edge, on the Edge. We love you guys. We wish you peace. We wish you prosperity, and most than everything, we wish you a sound mind.
Yes.
We thank you for chopping it up with us. We'll see you in 2021.
Ah!